If you are insulin resistant or have type 2 diabetes and your doctor told you to remove all carbs from your diet, watch this video before your next doctor's appointment. By the end of this video, you'll be able to recognize what we call the good carbohydrates and the so-called bad carbohydrate. My name is Noko. I'm an exercise physiologist and I help people lower their blood glucose levels and lose weight. I am not a medical doctor, and for that reason, I am not in a position to tell you to ignore your doctor's advice. However, at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you 3 things you should ask your doctor at your next appointment. So let's look at carbs. All carbs, CHO stands for carbohydrates, are sugars, and they all end up in glucose. Glucose is the form of energy of your cells. However, some carbs will spike your glucose faster than others. Carbs are divided into complex carbs and simple carbs. This is what happens when you consume simple carbohydrates. You eat a simple carbohydrate, your blood glucose goes up quickly and drops quickly, and then goes up quickly every time you eat more simple carbs, and then you have a deeper drop in blood glucose. Your glucose is simply trying to get into your cells. In order to get into your cells, it needs a hormone called insulin. When you have all those spikes of glucose, insulin remains high and eventually leads to insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes. Different types of simple carbs. Some are whole food and some are refined or processed. So whole food is basically the food that you find in nature. Like you can pick an apple from a tree or an apricot. Berries and apples are good simple carbs. They are loaded with fibers. The fibers will slow down the release of glucose into your blood. So apple juice is considered a processed food because it's no longer an apple. You cannot pick apple juice from a tree. If you have diabetes, avoid all fruit juices, avoid white bread, avoid all packaged food. This is the big no-no here. All the food up here has been processed and is sold packaged. Now let's look at complex carbs or the good carbs. Whenever you eat complex carbs, you see your spike of glucose is very low and smooth. So is the insulin. This is because complex carbs are high in fibers, and the fibers slow down the absorption of glucose into your blood. So you want to add a lot of fibers in your diet. Foods such as legume, lentils, peas, garbanzo beans, whole grain rice, yam, squash, avocados, green leafy vegetables. Here are the 3 things you should ask your doctor at your next appointment if you have type 2 diabetes or if you're insulin resistant. First question, ask your doctor if it's reversible, and hopefully they say yes. Second question, ask them if it can be reversed naturally. And the third question you should ask them is, can I have complex carbs? If your doctor says no to any of these questions, you can always have a second opinion or go to another doctor.